So today I decided that I was going to do the throwback tag for you. Hey guys, so I am back and I'm doing another video for you today, and that is the throwback tag, as you already guessed. First of all, I'm just going to point out, if it's not already obvious, I've had my hair cut. I just got bored of it being long, so yeah. Decided to just chop it all off, because why not? But yeah, it's short and it feels very weird when I do this. Where's my hair gone? I don't really know what to say today. I'm a bit lost for words. So, the throwback tag. Question number 1. What year were you born in? I was born in 1997. I'm 17 years old. I'm 18 in May this year, and yeah. What else do I say about that? Question number 2. Do you have any pictures of yourself from when you were younger? I do. This is just a selection of photographs. I'm not going to show you them all because there's quite a few. I'll show you the best ones. So, right, this is, my sister's going to hate me, but so this one is one of me and my sister. My sister is the older one, I'm the baby. Although my sister does, me and my sister really did look alike. But yeah, that's me as a little tiny baby. Then I've got this one, which is a photo of me when I was slightly older, again with my sister. I'm sorry, Tees. But yeah, me as a very alien-looking child. This was, I believe, for my christening. I'm assuming I look like I'm going to be christened right at this point. So yeah, rocking that dress, really feeling that. And oh, my shoes, like velvet or like suede or something. That's fabulous. Looking very tanned as well. Here's me being the poser I've always been. Fab. Look at that stance, look at that, check that out. Why are my trousers like Simon Cowell as well? That's a bit odd. But then this one is, oh, look at me, it looks so elegant. Was when I did a TV advert when I was younger. That was just me on the set. That's me dressed as a Victorian. Yep, I did that that was just a hobby. That wasn't, no, it wasn't, okay. It definitely wasn't. Me on a horse, brilliant. I don't know what happened to me at this point in life, but that was evidently before I had a brace, and not proud of that. And that is all that I'm actually going to show you, because otherwise it gets even more embarrassing from then on. But yeah. Number 3 is, what TV shows did you watch as you were growing up? I always remember waking up for school in the morning, and I'd because you didn't have to put on makeup and stuff like that when I was younger, so I'd run downstairs and I'd put on the TV, and it'd always be Arthur at 7:30, and then Tracy Beaker at 8 o'clock. And I always used to get really annoyed because I used to have to leave the house at about 8:10, and you know, Tracy Beaker was like 15-minute episodes back then, so yeah, at 8 o'clock Tracy Beaker would be starting. I'd be like, yeah, and then my mum would be like, Soph, we've got to go, and I'm like, there's only 5 minutes left of Tracy Beaker, Mum, I want to watch it. So, you know, that's just one of them things that I think has probably scarred me in later life. You know, all them 5-minute endings of Tracy Beaker that I missed, and them really thrilling storylines that we saw. It's just quite sad. I also loved Lazy Town. I remember I first found Lazy Town. To be honest, I was actually probably a little bit older. Probably at the age where I shouldn't have actually been watching CBeebies and such anymore, but I don't look like a girl now. So Lazy Town, I remember I was in Blackpool. I was probably about, I don't know, like 12 maybe. Maybe a little younger, but I was in Blackpool, and I discovered it. It was on one of the channels whilst we were there. So every morning after breakfast, whilst we were on like a little holiday breakaway, and I'd run upstairs to watch Lazy Town. Yeah, I'd be like, Mum, I don't want any more toast, I'm going to watch Lazy Town. And I loved it, and I learnt the dance, and I could still do the dance, but I'm not going to do the dance. What did you want to be when you grow up, and do you still want to be that? I've always wanted to perform. If you didn't know, I don't know whether you do know, I want to go into performance, acting, singing, dancing, whatever, musical theatre. And I've always wanted to do that. I've always been that kind of person, you know, I've always performed and stuff. I did go through a lot of different phases. I wanted to be a crime scene investigator at one point, a doctor at another point. But I think no, ultimately it's always been performing that I wanted to do. Acting and stuff. Yeah, dance and that umbrella of things. So the next question is, have you got any videos of you when you were younger? Now, I don't really have any old like kind of home video. Well, we do somewhere, but not to hand. But one video I do have is, as I mentioned earlier, when I was on the TV advert for the doll Cindy, the relaunch of the doll Cindy. I don't know if anyone will remember that, because that was kind of, we were the age that would play with them dolls. But yeah, there was a TV show talking about like the behind the scenes of the advert I did, and like relating to the relaunch of Cindy. And I was on the television show showing part of my audition. So I'll show you now. I'm gonna hate myself for this.
Time to go to bed, Cindy.
One girl seems to have got the knack.
Well done. Thank you very much. Well done. That's all there is to it. Well done. Very good.
Sophie.
Denise's preferred choice, Sophie N, is last up.
You've been seven a long time.
I've just been seven.
I'm pretty confident that we should go with the last girl, Sophie N. Probably the best choice. Yeah, interaction. Okay, well I think what we'll do is we'll put her forward as number 1.
So that was me. I'm just such a brilliant actress. I always have been, you know. Time to go to bed, Cindy. Just still got it. Number 6 is, what were your favourite toys to play with? Definitely Barbie dolls and Bratz, as most of, well, pretty much every girl my age loved. But then I was also a big fan of like Tamagotchis. Oh my god, Tamagotchis were just the thing. Just, if you didn't have a Tamagotchi, like, you were no one. Like, everyone had a Tamagotchi. The hours spent with my next door neighbour, one of my best friends, down at the park, playing on Tamagotchis and connecting on Tamagotchis was just insane. Nintendo as well. I was really late to get a DS, like, I was really late to get a DS. And when I got one, I was like, shit, like, what have I been missing this whole time? So yeah. Just baby dolls, and like I loved just like using your imagination. Like, I had a great imagination as a child. I don't know what happened. The hours like we used to just spend like, outside like making up games. And I remember we used to play this game where like the clouds were like some kind of monster, and it was like, oh my god, they're like here, like, oh, whatever. And there was just a big group of kids down my road. There was me, my sister, my brother, then my next door neighbour, and then like the people opposite us, and the kids here, and the whatever, because we were all the kind of same age, so we all played out together, and we used to play lurky. I don't know if anyone knows what lurky is, I'm pretty sure you will do. But what you do basically is you pick a lamppost down the street, and that's like the lurky post, like, yeah, the lurky post, and you all have to like run and hide, and someone's it, and they have to come and find you, and when they're not looking you have to like run and touch the lurky post and say lurky 1 2 3, and yeah, then like you've like not lost, if that makes sense, and the last person to get to the lurky post or get touched when running to the lurky post by the person who's it loses. Sounds like such a fun game, but seriously, we just like the hours of fun we used to have, and everyone getting mardy and being like, I'm going in, like, I'm not playing, I'm always it, like, that was just life. But in like summer and stuff, and it was like, oh my god, I'm allowed out till 9 o'clock tonight. Are you allowed out till 9 o'clock? I'm allowed out till 9 o'clock. Like, it was just great. What's the most embarrassing thing that you can remember doing? Something that has always stuck with me throughout my whole life, and I say I have no idea why, but it was probably because it was the most embarrassing thing ever. Well, I've got 2 actually. The first one, which is the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to me in my life, and I was like really small, but it still makes me cringe now. You know when you used to do PE and you're like pants and your vest, right? How wrong is that? That's just seen as so wrong nowadays, but back then that was like fine. But yeah, I used to do PE in your vest and your pants. I remember one day, our blooming pulled down my little skirt or trousers, whatever it was I wore, pinafore probably, and my pants down with it whilst we were getting, because you used to get changed in the classroom. There was no change rooms back then. You got changed in the classroom in front of everyone else, boys and girls mixed together. Yes, you were like 6, but so we got changed. I took my trousers down or whatever. My pants came down with it. I didn't realise. I don't know how I didn't realise, but I didn't realise. So I proceeded to walk to the line. You have to get in a line, ready to go and do PE in the hall or the assembly room with no pants on. And I hadn't realised, and everyone was like, and then I was like, I've got no pants on. And I just leg it, and I hid under a table for a very long time. Which, you know, just wasn't one of the highlights of my childhood. Another one was, you know, when you used to go into the toilets, I don't know whether you just did this, it makes us sound like rough kids, but I didn't go to a rough school or anything, but people used to kick the toilet doors to see if they were open because they never wanted to touch them, because it's like, hey, germs. So people used to kick the toilet doors, and our toilet locks were awful. They were like these horrible plastic ones. They were broken so easily. They came undone, like everything. And one time I was sitting on the toilet, just minding my own business, having a wee. Someone kicked my toilet door and it flung open. Now I was sitting on the toilet in front of like everyone in the blooming toilets, and I hid under the table again. Hid under the table for the rest of the afternoon. Very upset. Wouldn't leave the table. It kind of just shows me a bit, doesn't it, that I hid under the table for most of my childhood, because I was just an embarrassment to everyone. I'm still a bit hopeless today, if I'm honest. Very clumsy. Read something you wrote when you were in kindergarten. For a start, we don't call it kindergarten, mate. We ain't in America. I don't really have anything that I wrote when I was in kindergarten. I remember I used to write a lot of stories, and just make them all. I was obsessed with writing about like the war and like Anne Frank style things, like people being in hiding and stuff like that. I was so interested in that, and I'm still interested in that kind of thing today, you know, like the Holocaust and everything. And I used to just love writing about that. I used to write all my stories about like Anne Frank or like Jews and stuff. Weird, but yeah, I did. I used to love writing as a kid, but I've not really got anything I could show you. No, I've not. But I did love writing, but I haven't got any proof. I'm very sorry. 3 songs you loved to listen to as a child. The first, major throwback. I was trying to think of songs and I was like, I can't really think of any, and then this just came to my mind. It's not like a pop song or anything like this, but I just so vividly remember sitting in the IT suite listening to this song when it was first like the major thing. I wonder how many of you will know this. You ready? That's that. That is the badger mushroom song. Wow. That was just one of the best songs of my life. Another song, or another artist I love listening to, was Amy Stutt. I don't know if any of you remember Amy Stutt or listen to Amy Stutt, but I was introduced to her by my sister, so I think that was probably the main thing. But a little bit of Amy Stutt, I think. And I love this song. To this day, I still love that song. And Amy Stutt, for that matter. Don't know what she's doing with herself nowadays, not really sure. Another one was Natasha Bedingfield, loved her. Unwritten, that was a good song. But I'm not including that in my 3, because what I'm including in my 3, right, is one of my favourite songs in the present day that I refound, and you just, hold on, let me find it. I had to still listen to this like on a daily basis, because it's just one of them, not inspirational, one of them motivating songs, like get moving, girl, kind of thing. that was a bit of Stacey Orico there. Love a good Stacey Orico, me. Even in this modern day. Who likes Josie, eh? Who likes that? No. Number 10 was, what was one funny thing that you dressed up as for Halloween when you were younger? Jesus Christ, put some comments in that, mate. I didn't really dress up for Halloween when I was a child. We didn't really do that. We didn't trick or treat when, like, in my family. Mainly because we weren't allowed. My parents didn't really like us doing that. And the area that I live in, it's a lovely area, but because of that, a lot of people are a bit like, no, excuse me, like, just go and give your kids caviar. Like, I'm totally not giving them sweeties and stuff because cavities, you know, like cavities, total cavities. So yeah, not quite that exaggerated, but you get the point. But if I ever did like go to a Halloween party or anything like that, it'd literally just be like a devil or a cat. That was like the extent of our costume bag. Number 11 is, tell a funny story of something you remember happening when you were young. There is one story that is funny. We used to go down to this campsite down in Dorset every year, and one time my mum was like, you should totally do the talent show. Like, my brother always used to do it because he's like an amazing singer, but one time my mum was like, you should do it. So I was like, yeah, you know what, I'm gonna do it. And we were rehearsing songs in the caravan. And one of those songs was Hero by whoever that's by, you know, and then a hero comes along, that one. And my mum was like, no, you need to do it like this, and pulled out like a note from the song. I can't even remember what note it was, and it was just the most horrendous thing that has ever come out of her mouth. And we just burst into laughter like I've never laughed before. And my sister was drinking some squash, and it came out of her nose. Like, she was just like, out of nose. And obviously my sister was in quite a bit of pain because like it came out of her nose, it like hurt, and she was like choking. But she was laughing and choking and like dying and laughing and whatever. And mum, oh, it was just the funniest thing ever. Like, now it's just so, oh. You kind of have to be there. Number 12 is, are there any special things you've kept since you were a child? Now, one of the things is this. It's a, you can't really see my name on it, but it's a little crochet, is that word crochet? Or a little, I can't remember what the word is, but a little, I don't know, but a little kind of sewed piece of cloth. But my mum sewed this from scratch, and she originally started it for my sister, I think it was, but it took her so long that it wasn't finished by the birth of my sister. But it was like a knitting pattern, and she kind of adapted it herself, and it's got my name in the middle here, and it's just really, really cute, and I just love it. And I'd like to get it framed like in my uni room or something. I think that'd be really cute, but at the moment it's just like hangs on my bed. But it's just really nice. It's one of them little things. And I've got like quite a few other teddy bears as well. Like one of my main gals, one of my main mandems is a teddy bear that's, well, it's a, oh, I'll just get it. Is this little chummy. This is Slush Puppy, everyone. I used to have an obsession with huskies when I was younger, and I remember I got this from a service station. It's a Beanie Baby one, like a TY. You know, do you remember them? I played with them as well. And I just fell in love with him. And when I first got him, he was so fluffy, and now he's all like ratty, but as the bird before. I've had him for so many years. That's like my main teddy bear. Bless. What was something weird you used to do as a child? There wasn't really anything weird. Well, there probably was weird things I used to do as a child, but I don't really know what. Before I was born, I used to apparently blow bubbles in my mum's stomach. Which earned me the nickname Bubbles from like my granddad and like my mum and that. Because apparently I used to blow bubbles, or I used to do something that made bubbles blow in my mum's tummy. That's not really weird. I mean, I can't go back and change that, can I? Because I was a fetus. I didn't really do anything that weird. I probably did, but nothing that like sticks out as a memory for me. What was the scariest thing that you remember happening to you as you were a child? Was anything too scary that happened to me that I can remember. So 15 is, how is the world now different from how it was like when you were a child? That question don't make sense for a start. Someone's written that very badly. There are a lot of things that are different. I mean, I'm a very, you know, kind of traditional person in certain ways. I love seeing kids out playing like on scooters and bikes and stuff like we did when we were younger, not like them just sitting there on iPads and everything, because I kind of think, you know, it's stunting your imagination so much. Like, don't get me wrong, I love technology, evidently. We've advanced so much since I was younger even, and I mean, I'm only 17, but we have advanced so much even in the last 5 or 10 years. But I still believe that kids should, you know, use their imagination and go out and play games like we used to. And nowadays, you know, you don't go and knock on a kid's door and say, "You coming out to play?" Like, you text them. And I just think it's so wrong. Like, there's so many kids nowadays that like go out and just like smoke and drink on the park, but I'm talking young kids, you know, like at that age I was still playing, and I don't know, it upsets me a bit because I don't want my kids, like when I have them, to grow up in a world where it's, you know, it's more normal to sit around in your room on your own and isolate yourself than it is to be out playing. I don't want kids to grow up in a world where they're like an outcast because they've not got this, that and the other, so they need to have this, that and the other. I don't want it to be that. You know, go out and ride a bike, you know, so go and play on the park. Park's deserted, like seeing parks deserted and the swings like hanging still, and like, yeah, I don't think I ever see kids at the park anymore, ever. And that's mainly because it's very, very horrible weather in England. Like, even when it was bad weather, we still went out and stuff, and you'd come back soaking wet and freezing like your nipples off, and that's what kids should be doing. So I've ended that on a bit of a low note. I don't really want to. And I'm so grateful for everything I've had in my life, and my family and my friends and all the things I've been lucky to have. You know, I live in a lovely area with a lovely house, and, you know, I've got a roof over my head and food to eat, and, you know, have a dream. But yes, I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. It gave you a little bit more of an insight into my life and probably made you laugh at my embarrassment. Alien baby. But yes, I will see you in my next video. Have a nice week. Bye, guys.